Good, beautiful morning, everybody. It is Friday, March the 3rd, 2023, and it's our Q&A day for those of you that are joining us here on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. The subject that's going to come up, though, because they were downloading this to me as I was getting prepared, your body is not you. Consider that thought for a moment. Your body is not you. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And I hope you enjoy the show today because it ought to be quite interesting. Today is the day when we do questions and answers for our followers on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. And yeah, it's pretty amazing what's happening today. All this energy coming on, all this uncertainty you see on the planet today, and none of it has to be true. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, YouTube. So yeah, for those of you that are just getting here, today is about our Q&A, and there's a little bit of a subject on you are not your body, and I have no idea how this is going to affect anybody, but I'm going to allow them to communicate this concept. Through many dozens of lifetimes that you have existed in creation, not just on this planet, you have experienced many varied forms of consciousness. You look around you upon this single planet of which you are upon right now, hearing these words, and all the different various creatures, the things you call animals and insects and birds and the such. All of these things you have experienced, not just with your eyes, but you have experienced. You have been the bird, you've been the snail, you've been the tree, you've been the whale, you've been the dolphin, and now you are the human hearing these words. And in each incarnation of experience, you learn certain fundamental things about creation, being, doing. You learn certain things about the functions of suffering and prosperity and joy. You learn these fundamental things. But in each and every case, you as a spiritual entity come into a physical medium of expression. In this case, those of you that are hearing these words recognize that you are in the physical expression of a human body. It is an instrument through which you express. It is not who you are. It's the instrument you came to gain specific experience about existence and creation through. And there's much confusion about your identity because so many of you have been, let us use the word, drawn into the illusion of matter being the sole locus of your identity, that many of you believe that the body is who you are. And this is creating great confusion and uncertainty, as the body is only the vehicle through which you express your creative potential and function, and through which you experience the sensorial reality of a physical dimension in a human body, which is very different than the body of a dog or a cat or a bird or an ant or a honeybee. Your experiences in those forms were very different lessons of experience than the one you are acquiring in that human form. Many of you have incarnated in many different forms in the same species. You have been male and you have been female. You've been androgynous. You've been hermaphroditic in many different expressions. Because you can see all of that outpictured in the life forms that exist on this physical planet. You can see that there are these different physical expressions, different ways of functioning and recreating and procreating. But in the human form, it's very precise and very specific what you are here to learn. But if you come in from a very pleasurable experience of being a man and you come into a physical form that is a female, there would be confusion. Because you have to then learn how to function as a female form from a male consciousness. And many of you often said, I wish I could be the other one. I wish I could be the other sex you already were. And so you were experiencing something different. And you have the opportunity to learn from that. The functions of a male body and the functions of a female body are very specific and precise and offer very different lessons and understanding about time, space, and matter experienced through that form. If you come to the understanding that you are that body, then you may be confused and remain so. But the body is merely the instrument. It is the vehicle through which you as a spiritual entity express creation and acquire experience in relation to your expressing creation. You gain experience from what you create. And your experience ought to elevate you up and expand your consciousness and give you a deeper, more profound understanding that your being transcends subjectivity to matter, time, and space. In fact, matter, time, and space are your servants, not your masters. And many of you have it backwards. You think that your body and this world are your masters, or someone else is your master. You are the master. Now, you have spent a great deal of your life experiencing being taught to believe you are a certain person, and you lose yourself in that self that is imposed upon your body and into the structure of the energy called your mind. And there's a process called awakening that is ongoing in a very great extent right now on this planet. And this awakening allows you to remember who you are, that you are awareness, you are consciousness, you are living through creatively a material medium called matter, space, and time, those being its constituents. That you utilize the functions of time, space, and matter as a function of your creation, not to simply loan yourself to being subjective to them. So you come into a male body and you were in a female body before, and now there is some confusion from your distant memories, because when you come into this form, you are given a personalized identity. And when you become that personal identity, if you lose yourself in that personalized identity, it will conflict perhaps with what you remember from other lifetimes. The only function of the body is to serve as a vehicle for your creative expression, to serve as a vehicle for creative expression and to gain experience about the function of creation through the form you currently exist in. But first, this requires an awakening process that must happen. You must begin to awaken from the personality that you have been scrunched down into, if we could say that. You've compressed your infinite self into a finite speck of creation called a personality. But it is not who you are. The personality is not who you are. The body is not who you are. They are instruments that you must learn to govern and regulate creatively, consciously, and deliberately. To surrender that ability to do so places you at risk of being subjective to the limiting and sometimes derogatory ideas of other externalized sources to yourself. But within you is this potential of limitless creation. The potential of limitless creation that can be liberated by the personality or retarded by it. That your divinity can be retarded by the structure of the personality the world has given you. And we're simply here today to answer questions, but also to offer you our insights so that you might end your suffering sooner. By recognizing the body is merely an animal, it is not much different in terms of its functioning from what you would call your dogs or your cats or your horses. The only difference being the function of those forms differs somewhat in how the form of the human body functions, but fundamentally, all of the essential elements in your body are identical in nature to the elements within an animal. You have instinct. You have fight and flight. You have pain and pleasure. That is what you have in this body. Quite simply, those are the primary mechanisms of your biological organism. Fight, flight, pain, pleasure. Those are the simplest functions of it. And as awareness, your personality interacts with that system, and that system interacts with your personality. If you confuse yourself as being the body, then you limit yourself to its parameters of existence. That is, you will simply be much more the same as a dog or a cat, in that you will respond to things out of fear or curiosity. But that is only from the perspective of your biology. From the perspective of your soul, from what you truly are, you use this instrument to elevate your consciousness, to gain a creative understanding of what it is to manifest, create, to generate conditions of a creative expression in this physical dimension. Different forms of art loan themselves to this, different forms of creation, like your architecture, your industries, your sciences, loan themselves to demonstrating how your soul can transcend the confines and the information of the five physical senses and manifest conditions that allow you to thrive and exist very differently than the animal does in the animal kingdoms. But fundamentally, your body in and of itself is not much different than a dog or a cat. But you beautiful soul, transcend subjectivity to this, or are designed to transcend subjectivity, to train the body to simply be an instrument of creation through which you can speak and act and do. Hopefully in a direction that supports the function of love and not the function of fear. As this topic will become very central to your survival as a species in the coming years. Do you live from love or do you live from fear? When we came to this one this morning, we said it was very important you understand that the confusion is only in the function of your personality, not in the function of who you are as a divine entity. And this confusion can come to a quick closure if you understand and begin to remember who you are as a spiritual consciousness, that the body is simply an instrument through which you learn the function of creation. It is that simple. It is really that simple. Let's go to some questions and answers. I want to thank the Ascenders for being with us today, because they're one of my favorite collectives. Again, they comprise of a number of different species from different planetary systems, as well as other beings that have existed on this planetary system, Ascended Masters, if you like, but also the Pleiadians, the Lyrans, and other species. Blue avians, there's different questions. So someone's asking on, thank you. Should I gift my friend? Hi guys. Hi Chris. Hello Debbie. I should say hi everybody. Yeah, this is the way it goes. When they come through, they come through. You learn to allow the information that is important to life to come through you. You know, and every one of us has unique creative expression, and everybody knows this. I don't care who you are. Everybody knows on some fundamental level that you came here to function creatively different than everybody else. You didn't come to be like everybody else. You came here to creatively express your unique consciousness, your knowledge, your wisdom, whether it's in the sciences or the arts or healing or teaching or instructing. You came here to be a manifester of a creative expression, not to be subjective to the material world. I'm just going to scroll. Hi guys, lots of questions today. Yeah, for those of you on YouTube, if you want a question that needs to be answered, you can use the super chat feature. Someone's asking, Anna's asking, should I continue pursuing this connection with N? I don't know who this is, but they're saying she keeps asking us this question, and she already knows the answer. They're saying you either have to release your uncertainty or become more favorable to what you really, really want. One path will be easier than the other, they're saying too. Yes, they do visit you. Yeah, she visits you pretty regularly. Understand, for those of you that are new to this channel or new to us on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, please understand that when a person leaves the physical medium of expression, that is, if they leave the physical body, their consciousness does not cease to exist. They simply move to a dimension of energy that is imperceptible to our five physical senses. But you can train your senses. You can train your senses to perceive them. So when you find yourself sitting around and suddenly you're thinking about your friend, you think you're thinking about your friend, it's not just random. That thought came up because their inner energies interacting with you and stimulating in your brain system the vibration of who they are so that you can recognize them. So when you feel her name pop in your head, pause, feel her presence. I promise you, you'll start to feel them instead of having thoughts, I miss them. Yeah, they're not in the physical dimension, but you can still interact with their energy. You know, our 101 masterclass begins tomorrow at 11 a.m. And for those of you that are already registered, I'm looking forward. We're going to have a really amazing 3 weeks together. But in this 101 masterclass, you learn how to train your perception to perceive realms of information beyond the five physical senses. So you can actually experience the energy of your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your ascended masters, your guardian angels. You can learn a process by which you can train your awareness to perceive on different bandwidths of consciousness. So we've still got another 24 hours to register if you want to do that. You go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, and check out our courses there and register before we begin tomorrow. It's 3 weeks of very intensive learning, 25 hours of live events, all recorded and stored on our Facebook group where you can easily review the information at your leisure and the best time according to your schedule. So please, your friends, your family, they do visit you all the time. It's just, yeah, they are watching over us sometimes. But when you're thinking about them, it's because their energy's interacting and stimulating. Their energy comes into your system, causes an effect in your brain that amplifies the thought with their name. And you suddenly think, oh, I'm thinking about my mom, or I'm thinking about my dad. Well, what? It's because their energy is right there. And if you can pause, just be present and feel their energy, you will. You can actually feel them as variances in temperature. There's different ways you'll learn to sense their energy. We have a whole segment where we dedicate over the next 3 weeks where you can actually learn the process of sensing the energy of the beings that you want to interact with, your guardian angels, ascended masters, Master Jesus. Jesus is around. You know, Buddha's around. They live in energy. And some of them actually come down into form and interact with humanity. And still, even to this day, you can learn to sense their presence with you. They're not alone. They're all present with us. Drusilla is saying, major loss and shock for my family. Any message for me? It is, you know, when we form, first the message, okay. Take it easy. I'm being told to tell you, take it easy. I'm okay. I'm okay. Take it easy. Sit together. Be present with my energy. Yes. Okay. So when a person leaves the physical dimension, the body they were in will never exist again. That body is gone. Okay. We only get a body that we have in a lifetime once. That body will never be repeated again. Your awareness, your consciousness, your experiential consciousness still exists outside of the perception of the five physical senses. But he's saying, stop worrying. Be present. Like Drusilla, I don't know how much your family understands this, but I highly encourage them, you know, to sit down and just be present with his energy. Like he's present with you. He's trying very hard to get you guys to not be concerned or afraid. So when you leave the physical body, we form relationships with each other on this physical plane. On this physical plane, everybody you're connected to, you form literal connections in energy. We have tendrils of energy going out that's connected to everyone, everything that we are connected to consciously and unconsciously in this physical dimension. So our energy is constantly flowing out to mom, to dad, to sister, to brother, to teachers, to friends who you're really connected with. When they leave the physical plane of consciousness, what happens is that energy's got nowhere to go. And so a part of you is trying to connect to their physical body, but it's not here anymore. And you can learn to take that energy and connect to their consciousness and reconnect to their energy and experience what they're experiencing in a non-physical dimension, because it's a very different learning, a very different degree of consciousness than what we experience with our 5 physical senses. What they have is sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell is non-physical senses: clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairaudience. They have different senses on a non-physical plane. And of course, science does not have the instruments to measure these non-physical planes of collective unconsciousness, but they do exist, and they are real. Thank you for that question, Drusilla. You keep saying, tell them not to worry. It's okay, I'm okay. Sit down, connect. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Scrolling down here, it's going to check on TikTok here. Thank you, appreciate that. Question from Christopher on YouTube. On this topic, will you please elaborate on consciousness, awareness, soul being a balanced toroidal sphere, love and wisdom? The duality assists us in growth. Yes, I understand this. So Chris is asking about consciousness, awareness, and soul being a balanced toroidal sphere. Most people are not going to understand this explanation, but quite simply, your body, your physical body, is contained within you. Your body is contained within you as an awareness. You as an awareness, as a soul, generate through this body what's called a toroidal field. Energy that comes up out of the top of the head and enters in through the soles of the feet. And think of a toroidal field as a giant donut, and that energy around the body is what you are as a soul. And you interact with that sphere of energy. But you also interact with this biological energy. What happens in the field of energy around you affects your body. What happens in your body will affect the field of energy around you. You as awareness can begin to interact deliberately with these spheres of energy. You can change the vitality of the body by altering the energy around it. You can change the vitality of your energy by altering what you do with your body. If you keep your body healthy and vibrant and strong and well fed and exercised, then your toroidal field is going to be very stable and strong. Remember, your soul and your body are interactive. While you're in this physical dimension, your soul and body are intimately connected as one. When you become aware of that you are not simply a physical being, but you are consciousness, then the interaction of your consciousness with matter begins to change. You become more conscious of your creative function, how your energy, how your thoughts, how your emotion, relative to your mind and body and awareness, interact with and dynamically create changes in your experience of time, space, and matter. Understand this. It gets easier when you understand it, that your body is an instrument that you use creatively in this physical dimension. Question from Shining Light Discovery. Who is that being I saw helping me research and taking care of my seedlings? Anything they'd like me to know? Thank you. They're telling me that it was the fairies and the devas. The fairies and the devas like working with you with seeds and plants. Yeah, they really like the natural green world. So it wasn't just one. There were a bunch of them. They were very close together, so you might have perceived them as one individual, but not. There's a collection working with you. There's about 15 or 20 of these beings working with you. About 8 of them are fairies, and the balance of them are the other. Thank you so much for that. Someone's saying, hello. Victoria's saying, hello. Wouldn't mind some advice on how to balance a multitude of stress. Very overwhelmed. Yeah, Victoria, I would highly recommend you come and join our Masterclass series. There's a process of learning in there that's not just limited to connecting to your guides and angels, but you're going to also learn how to alter and change your mind and your body as a function of your will. Stress has to be managed by the function of your consciousness, not simply pills and drugs and other things to try and deal with it. But you can learn to train your mind and body into a different state of energy. Like even the act of sitting down and breathing slowly and telling your body to relax nicely. You don't say, relax. You tell your body nicely to relax. And you give your entire body permission. Like right now, you can do this with us. Like take a deep breath. And as you exhale, give your entire body permission to relax. From the face all the way down to the soles of the feet. Give every muscle permission to relax as you exhale. And do that breath 3 times like that. And you'll notice the stress level, the anxiety level will drop down. For those of you that are dealing with lower vibrational energies like depression, you'll notice your depression begins to subside when you give the body permission to relax, right? Remember, your body is an instrument that you're here to gain authority over, not to be subjective to. And your mind is an instrument that you're designed to be authority over, not subjective to. Most people on the planet right now are stuck in believing their body is who they are and their mind is who they are. And it's not. It's not who you are. Your thoughts are not who you are. Thank you, sir. Question on TikTok. Should I gift my friend sonnets with my healing tinctures as her son died? This word died has to be removed from the human language, and it has to be replaced with the word transitioned. Every soul has its own journey. Some souls want to come in and live an entire lifetime and experience that entire life. Some want to come in very short. But her son is not dead in the sense that he's gone from existence. He's certainly not in this physical plane. Please tell her that her son loves her deeply. And he knows that she misses him, but he's not gone. He's saying, feel me, mommy, feel me close to you. Feel me close to you. Close to you. Like, tell her to like sit and feel his energy around her. Yes. He still needs her. He still needs her while he's making this move in consciousness. So get her to sit and be present in her love with him. And she'll feel something very different. I'm going to tell you that right now. When you start to actually acknowledge that when you're suddenly thinking about someone that you think has died, that they're actually connecting with you energetically. And we have many people that have experienced this where they stop and they pause and they can feel the actual, sometimes they get tingling sensations. Sometimes they'll feel warm or cold. Sometimes they'll feel euphoric. Sometimes they'll actually feel an interaction with their body physically. I've watched people who have brought in their deceased partner and just embrace them, like throwing their arms around them. And you can see these two beings, even though you can only physically see one, you see the two beings interacting with each other. And it's just the most beautiful thing to watch. And when you can access the energy of that being, you realize there's this concept of death and ending is an illusion. Certainly the body ends and will never exist again, but the consciousness does not cease to function. And you can still have a relationship with that consciousness, contrary to what most people would tell you. Question from Monica G. Thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. Good morning. Any advice on my health of my husband, please? He has palpitations often lately. Thank you. Yes, Monica, great question. Your husband needs to be drinking a little bit more water. Fresh, distilled, remineralized water. If you got a distiller, you should be drinking distilled, remineralized water for starters. Right now, there's a lot of high-level energy coming into the planet right now. These energies affect our body electrically. The energy coming into the planet, these ascension energies, are affecting and altering our biology and the planet simultaneously. There's an upgrade process undergoing right now. So tell your husband to place his hand over his heart when he's feeling that and to say thank you, to feel that, to not be threatened or fearful of it. Again, this is what I'm being given to tell him. I went through this too. And one of the things they told me to do was drink extra water, go out and ground. He should go out and get his bare feet on the ground, go out and go grounding. And all this stuff gets taught in our 101 Masterclass. What you need to do to keep your body electrically balanced, nutritionally balanced. We have a wonderful man named Chico who runs a beautiful program called Sun Food Living that introduces people to different types of high vibrational foods and the way to eat them, the way to consume food so you can elevate the energy of the body up. Because that's what's going on right now. There's massive ascension energy coming into this physical planet right now. It's a huge amount of energy. And you need to learn how to train the body to integrate it. So there's a lot of people experiencing heart palpitations, dizziness, fatigue, mental instability. And it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's you have to train the body to process, to receive, to have less resistance to this energy. But we're sending a lot. I'm asking Archangel Raphael to go to him and comfort him. But those two fundamental things, being able to like increase the water intake, because water is a good conductor of electrical energy. So if there's more electrical energy incoming to the systems, then you're going to want more conductivity so the energy can go through. And grounding is very important. Video I recommend anybody here go check out on YouTube is a video called Earthing. And Earthing is a video that will give you an understanding of why it's so important that your body gets electrically reconnected to the earth at regular intervals. Again, we teach all of this in our one-on-one masterclass. Again, go register today. You got to go another 24 hours that you can register for the course, and it lasts for 3 weeks, 20 days. Question from Lauren: is there a message for Alexander, my adult son? I'm being told to tell him he shouldn't be so afraid of that anymore. He has to let his fear go around this. Let the fear go. Let it go. Yeah, this is a guardian angel, Martin, saying, tell him to let it go. Let it go, the fear. Yes. If he doesn't, it's going to have some effects on his body that won't be so pleasant. Right? He's going to have to let the fear go. Emotion organizes matter. My guardian angel John told me that about 4 years ago. He said, William, emotion is the fifth state of energy and it organizes all matter below it. So our biology gets organized by emotional energy. Our actions are organized by emotional energy. Our thoughts can be organized by emotional energy, right? And you as a soul can generate emotions. You can actually create your own energy as a soul. But they don't teach this in schools. They teach you how to sit, stand, listen, don't evaluate, do as we say, tell you this is what you're supposed to believe is true. They don't teach people that they are souls. They don't teach your children that they are divine entities coming into a physical realm to learn the function of creation. Such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing to understand that. Hi, Karen. How you doing? Yes, they are. Yes, you are. And you are. Karen, so Karen's saying, are my late husband and angels helping me on, your husband's not late, by the way. He's quite on time. He's very rarely late. He's always there in a timely fashion. And angels helping me on my new career path. I feel very spirit-led because you are. You are. We all are spirit-led when we learn to realize that the world, this physical world, is not the only source of knowledge, wisdom, truth, and information. Please understand that. Because if you believe that the world is the only place you can get knowledge and information and wisdom and truth from, then you're going to be struggling, as most people are right now, because there's so much backwards information and confusion and insanity on this planet about what is true and what is false. Learn to connect to your higher self. Learn to connect to the realm of spirit. So you can access information outside the framework of your 5 physical senses. Open up your clairs, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. Develop those clairs, those non-physical senses, right? Jesus refers to them all the time. You have eyes, but can't see. That's clairvoyance. You've got to develop your clairvoyance. When he says you have ears but cannot hear, it's because you've not developed your clear hearing, which is clairaudience. It's learning to hear with your inner ear, see with your inner eye. And there's claircognizance, which is clear knowing, right? And clairsentience, which is clear feeling, that are not grounded in the body, but they're grounded in your consciousness. But yeah, he's definitely helping you. I'm so happy. He says he's really happy for you. He said to start getting excited. He said the excitement's just about to begin. He wanted me to tell you that. The excitement's just about to begin. Yeah. Understand, somebody's saying on TikTok, is my grandfather watching over me? Any message from him? Or my spirit guides? Wow, yes. Yes, he is so grateful that you have reached out to him right now. Now you know, he says, now she can know that I am with her. Anytime I am with you, you will know I am with you. And this is why you've asked this question. He's saying you asked this question because you want to know that what you've been picking up and sensing is true. And modern science will not validate what we're saying here. They won't validate that when you feel the energy, you're suddenly thinking about someone who's left the physical body, that means their energy is interacting with you. Science won't validate that. Science won't validate that. And conventional psychology will tell you, well, something must have triggered the thought of that person. No, you cannot have an effect without a cause. And the moment you connect to the energy of someone, your brain will perceive it and recognize it. It's very exciting. Very happy for you that you're recognizing that. Any messages from the Ascended Masters would be a blessing. From Victoria's asking on TikTok. If you've been listening, you've been getting it. If you've been listening, you are getting it. So important. I am a spiritual medium, okay? I'm a channel. I allow information to flow through me from a higher vibrational plane than most people have learned to do. But everyone can learn to become aware of and access this information. I'm not special now. I've just found a path of learning that's allowed me to recognize that that pathway was open. But anybody can open up their channels and access information beyond what you know. Where do you think new ideas come from? Where do you think the idea of new motors and new solar panels, where do you think these ideas came from? They didn't come out of nowhere. They came out of consciousness. They came down. They got downloaded into the inventors, the light bulb, automobiles, Tesla coils. All of these things were downloaded from the spiritual realm of all things, brought down into an individual. And you can learn to open yourself up to those realms of information. Everybody can learn to do this. You just got to train your mind and body to become open and receptive to those realms of information, to learn how to detach yourself from the limiting beliefs in your mind that the world has given you. And that has to be learned. It won't happen on its own. Your suffering will not end by chance. And no pill, no drug will give you long-term relief from your suffering. But you as a soul can liberate yourself. You can liberate yourself from subjectivity to your mind and body, and in turn, liberate your mind and body from their suffering that the world has imposed upon them. You're a divine entity. You're a spiritual entity. You're wonderful. You're a soul, spirit of universal light, every one of you. It's a wonderful thing. Question from Diane B. Can you hug my spirit guide? Thank you very much. Whoa, they are beautiful. I love her energy. Wow, she's really beautiful. And she wants me to just transmit it to you. Diane, I'm going to transmit that energy to you right now, what she's giving me. Wow, she's got some good stuff happening. So I'm just transmitting the energy of her gift of energy to you. Just receive that in ever what way you can at this point of time and space. And thank you for that blessing. I really appreciate it. And thank your spirit guide for that too. She's really cool, very powerful. Okay, so somebody's asking about, can I ask my tinnitus, never-ending sound in my head, will I be able to control it better, and may I be able to switch it off one day? Tell me how. Please let me know what I can do with it. Okay, Camille, I'm being told to do this with you right now. If you're open to this, can I just ask you to sit down, relax your body. Just give your body permission to relax, okay? And I'm going to ask you to do something that's completely counterintuitive to anything you may have been taught, okay? And this is it. So sit down and listen to the ringing in your ears. I want you to actually pay attention to it. What you've normally been doing is getting angry and frustrated. Oftentimes that ringing is information trying to get to you, okay? But just sit down, feel the ringing. As you start to pay attention to the ringing, I want you to take your two hands. I want you to place your two hands over the ears like this. Place them gently over the ears, okay? And feel the ringing and hear the ringing. And then speak these words to the ringing sound. Speak these words to the ringing sound. I'm just asking Archangel Raphael to work with me on this. And speak these words to that ringing sound. Thank you for being a part of my life. Even if I do not understand you, I'm willing to understand you. Speak those words 3 times. And at the end of the 3rd time, notice the difference. And then please share in the comments section what you noticed changing. But you must be very sincere in saying those words. You must be very sincere in the way you think or say those words. Because you can't lie to consciousness, right? You got to mean those words. Thank you so much, Camille, and please share your experience with others. Hi guys. I really appreciate the little gifts and surprises. Thank you so much. How do I get a reading, please? Okay, if you want to book a reading with me, go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, and you can book a reading there. I have half-hour readings and 1-hour readings, and both are profoundly life-changing. And I cannot tell you how many people have experienced that You can go to my website and check out all the testimonials there and hear what other people have said and what they've experienced with not only our readings, but with our courses and classes and live events that we do. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, you can book a reading, half hour to 1 hour reading. Hi from Ontario. Hi, Chantal. How you doing? Was wondering if my mom has any messages for me. I don't know what she's saying. She's saying something about this clothing you're wearing. There's this outfit that you're wearing that she does not like. She wants you to stop wearing that outfit. Again, I don't know if it's the one you're wearing now, but she's just saying, tell her to stop wearing that outfit. I love her so much. She's adorable. She's saying that you're adorable. She's always so adorable. Yeah. Go out and get a man. Again, interesting. Go out and get a man. Wow. Coolio. Question, why don't I remember everything I was told by my spirit guide? As time went on, I forgot more. Listen, this is a great consideration. It's a very important consideration. When you move your body into a state of meditation, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow for our meditation time, which will happen an hour before the course begins. But the function of getting your body and mind quiet and still, what happens when you learn meditation, a lot of people, we've seen this many times, people in the beginning of learning meditation, they think they fell asleep. Because the very first time they leave their body, the body goes like that, literally falls asleep. The body is not conscious of itself anymore because you're not in it to perceive through it. And so you have to train your awareness to stay conscious when the personality falls asleep, because you're so used to believing, so many of you are so used to believing that the personality that you've been given by this world is the only thing you are. And you're not. Your mind is not who you are. It's an instrument of information, most of which is acquired from this world. And so when you step out of that reference point of self-identity, you lose awareness of yourself from the body perspective. So learning to keep and train your awareness to stay awake as the mind and body go to sleep, then you move into a realm of perception where awareness, and again, so many people, when they experience this state of not being the body, not being the mind, feel bliss. It's an amazing thing to wonder. So as you train yourself to stay awake in meditation, you can also bring information, energy down into the body. You can actually draw information down into the body. And a lot of inventive people, a lot of very highly creative people have learned to bring or allow energy down to drop into the mind, where they get new ideas all the time, right? Elon Musk is a great example of that. Jeff Bezos, many others that have learned to let information download into their mind. And you can learn to do that too, right? But that's a practice. You want to train your awareness to recognize it's not the mind, it's not the body, but it has a mind, it has a body. These are instruments for functioning in this physical dimension. You don't need a body if you're not going to live in this physical dimension. Right? Thank you so much for that. Monica's enrolled in the Masterclass. Hi, Monica. I'm enrolled in the Masterclass. Any message for me, please? Oh, yes. You're in for an incredible transformation, Monica. These next 3 weeks are going to be powerful and transformative for you. That stuff that's been going on, that's been lingering in your life, it's going to be transmuted. It's going to be transformed. It's going to be liberated from your mind and your body. You won't be carrying that around anymore. That's what I'm being told to tell you. You won't have to carry that emotional stuff any longer than you are now. It's time to transcend that. Right? Thank you, Monica. Yeah, he's not gone, Drusilla. My dad, I want to just tell you guys, I mentioned this before, but I'll say it because it's important you understand. My biological father, when he left about 6 years ago, I was blessed enough to be present with him when he left his body and watched him actually leave as little sparks of light from the third eye. And I watched him leave. Whenever he comes around, I always get a craving for a beer. And I don't drink, right? But when I know that's when he comes around, I get a craving for a beer when my dad pops around energetically. That's what he references, uses as a reference point for me to know that he's around. I've got another mentor who was a really heavy smoker years ago, and I can smell cigarettes, or I get an urge for a cigarette whenever he pops around. And different beings, Master Jesus, I feel this intense pillar of heat comes into my body when he's going to put information or energy through me. And, you know, Archangel Michael and others, I experience them very differently. And you can learn and train your body to perceive how different beings interact with you. And we always recommend that you learn to raise the vibration of your mind and raise the vibration of your body, because you want to deal with higher vibrational beings. The quality, the morals, the character that Master Jesus has is very high vibrational. Same with Buddha, same with Lao Tzu, Zarathustra, Hermes Trismegistus. They have high caliber vibrational personalities. And you want to get to a place where you train yourself to be in a higher vibrational state so you can interact with higher vibrational energies. If you're in lower vibrational states of anger, fear, depression, guilt, shame, you can tend to attract lower vibrational experiences and beings into your life. But you can always learn to change your energy, always learn to change your emotional field, you can always learn to change the thoughts, you can always learn to change, to raise the vibration of the body by what you feed it, what you give it, how you exercise it, how you treat it, right? You can change your vibration, contrary to what you may have been told. You are not bound by the conditions that you think you're bound by. You can transcend them. Yeah, just the other side pumpkin. Very true, Drusilla. They do manifest those things. You know, when you leave the biology, you can create much faster outside of the body than you can in the body. In the body, we have time, space, and matter. So we can imagine what we want in our mind, and it's in our mind is completed, just like that. But then we got the function of time and action and space that we have to work with. But on the non-physical planes, you can manifest a pub in an instant. You can literally manifest a pub instantaneously. Someone's saying, I had a complicated relationship with my dad, sometimes said mean things. Does he think differently? They usually do when they leave, every single one. In your dad's case, what we would call regret, they call the recognition of a need for correction. So when your dad reincarnates, he's going to make corrections in that, because you learn from this experience and you get a chance to evaluate your life very differently in your soul than you do in your biology. But you can learn to evaluate your life while you're in a body and do some pretty amazing things with your life. You can really do some wonderful things with your life. I lost my mom 4 years ago. I miss her a lot. Was wondering if she has any messages for me. She says, stop missing me. I'm right here. Stop missing me. Like, sit down right now. Sit down. You're asking this because she wants you to know she still exists. She wants you to feel her presence with you. Sit quietly. Release the idea that she's missing and feel the presence of my energy with you. Feel the presence of my energy with you. I am not missing. I'm just not in this form. Yeah, she says yes. You can feel her on the right side. You're right, on the right side. I'm doing the mirror. You can feel her on your right side. Her energy is like right here. Just close your eyes and feel her. Feel the energy. Don't look for a physical body, just feel the energy. And then please leave a comment in the comment sections and share with other people what you experienced with her. It's really important that we share our experiences, especially when they're new and outside of what we're familiar with. Hi guys. Hi there. Hang on. Let me swing over here. Wow. Thank you guys. Really appreciate the questions. I like this sentiment Chris is saying. The soul will even depart early, for example, if there's a house fire and children are in the house. The angels will come and pull the children's souls out of the body so no pain is felt. The body feels pain, the soul does not, but the soul can experience the pain of the body when it's in it, right? Oh, you're very welcome. Let's just scroll over here and check on TikTok. Hi, I'm Tammy. Anything from my mom? Something about a sewing machine. I don't know what She's saying something about the sewing machine. She doesn't like it just sitting around. Yes. Do you still have it? Sewing machine. She's like really insistent on the sewing machine. Yeah, I don't know, but the sewing machine is coming up really strong. Why you bring? Yeah, because she'll know. She's saying because you'll know. The word sewing machine, you know. This is how you'll know that she is actually connecting with you right now. Understand, they're present with you. I can tap into the energy and translate as best I can the vibrational information they're imparting to me, but they're actually present with you. They're present with you at this moment. If you can just let yourself be aware of their energy. Most people try to relate, I want to see them physically. No, they're not a physical body anymore. They're a being of energy. Some of them are reincarnated even already, but she's the sewing machine. She's really right from the heart, sewing machine, like really strong. I don't know what that is, but please share with us your insights on why she's so insistent on me saying that to you. Wonderful. Got time enough for 2 or 3 more questions. Questions from Star Bernice, 888. My friend Sonita lost her son. Should I gift her my healing oils? Oh, we answered that earlier, I believe. Yep. Yep. Someone asking, hi, Mickey, Michelle. Will mom find joy within her dementia state in her new senior care facility? This is an interesting transitional process. You know, when a soul is done with the physical existence, they've learned enough, they start to leave. Some can go really quickly, some go very slowly. It's not, if you haven't addressed your fear around what you are, this fear of this concept of death. Again, it's not death, it's a transition from a physical state of consciousness to a non-physical state of being. And she's in that process right now. What you can best offer her while she's going through this is repeatedly let her know she's perfectly safe. That no matter where she is or what's occurring, she'll always be perfectly safe at all points of consciousness. Let her know that. No matter where she goes, wherever she is, she's perfectly safe. Let her know those words. You'd be surprised at how the soul can respond to when you tell it the truth. When you speak truth, the soul can respond very quickly. But if they don't know that they're going to be safe, if they don't know that they're going to have another life, they don't really know that. And that's why when we teach meditation in our program, you become very aware that you are not just a physical being. You become aware you are an awareness working through a physical medium of manifestation creatively. You won't fear death when you come to a place of understanding. Your body can fear death because it's instinctual, right? But you as a soul, when you come to know that you know, you'll never fear death, right? Because you don't die. You just transform from one state of consciousness to another. Doesn't matter. Someone's asking, will I ever be able to communicate with animals? You're doing it all the time. Animals don't communicate in language. It's very difficult to train an animal to comprehend linguistics like our human brains can. Animals understand energy and vibration in the form of emotion more than they can ever understand language. Dogs, horses, and other animals can be trained to a fundamental spectrum of language, but they cannot learn to have a conversation like we are having a conversation right now. But you can have a conversation with a dog or a cat or a horse or another animal if you learn to feel the energy. And anybody who's worked with horses or other animals knows this, that it's the energy, it's the vibration. That's the communication. If you can train yourself to recognize the vibrational communication, the frequency of the horse, the frequency of the dog, the frequency of the cat, and communicate them on a level of energy, on feeling. Yes, you can communicate to any life form, dolphin, bird, cat, dog, doesn't matter. When you understand the function of vibration and your ability to utilize it as an awareness, as a soul, yes, A lot of people expect the animals to talk to them. Like, dogs don't have the physical structure in the mouth to talk, right? They have very limited vocal capabilities. But on an energy level, you can have a full-on conversation with a dog or a cat. Not that cats like much conversation, they're pretty solitary. But horses too. You can get into really powerful relationships with different animals. And it's based on the energy. And anybody who's got a close, intimate relationship with their animal knows this, right? And your body is an animal body, by the way. Remember what the Ascendant were saying at the very beginning. Your body is not who you are. It's the instrument that you're learning to experience of creation through. Please remember that. It'll save you a lot of suffering to believe that you're just your body, and to believe you're just your thoughts will cause an unnecessary, and even years, as I went through, years of suffering when you believe your thoughts and your emotions are who you are. If your body and your mind are who you are, whatever's in there is what you believe. And it can be ridiculous stuff put in your mind from your childhood and your upbringing and your educational systems. Right? It can cause great confusion and conflict with who you really are. You learn to remake your mind. Let's go over here again. Karen saying, I have a strong medical intuitive gift. Is my guide from a medical background? No, they're from an Ayurvedic background. They come from an Ayurvedic background. This is an ancient Ayurveda, this teacher that works energetically with you. Understand the function of healing is different than the function of treating disease. The function of healing is different than the function of treating disease. Although the function of healing will ameliorate disease, but your conventional systems of health are designed to treat disease, and they do not understand the function of healing, but they understand very in a limited way how to treat disease, but they are not very good at it. That's what he believes anyway, that they're not very good at it. Yes, I'm just wondering if he did that. I'm trying to scroll back and see. Where's our buddy boy here? Hi, Emily. Question from Emily on YouTube. Does the soul leave the body before the body dies? The body dies because the soul leaves it. The body dies because the soul leaves it. The body cannot live if the soul is not connected to it. You know, people that are in strokes and have had severe strokes and comas, and the body seems to be non-functional, but it's still alive because the soul still got somewhat of a connection. But the soul, if they don't have the knowledge on how to interact with matter, time, and space, can be attached to a body for years sometimes and not know how to leave or not how to come back in or not receive the instruction. And most people don't understand that when somebody's not in their body, but the body still lives, most people don't know they can't understand language in terms of words, physical words. You can't say, come on back to your body. You have to telepathically connect to them and say, you can come into your body, it's perfectly safe, it's going to be restored, regenerated, rejuvenated, re-energized, revitalized. And you guide them on how they can regenerate their body. Right? I've experienced that. I've actually worked with people who've had strokes and been in comas. So I understand and I've watched the process. The miracle of the soul over its own body, mind. You understand that the body is directed by the function of the soul. And once the soul leaves the body will not exist. The body will just cease to function. Because the soul is the electrical charge inside the body. And when you leave it, that's it. The body's finished. And you only get one body per lifetime. Where's that gentleman? I'm trying to find the Camille. Yes, Camille. I'm just wondering, Camille, if you did that practice, what your result was. How did you experience that? Could you share that in the comment section, please? That would be really beneficial. Any result is a result, right? Question from Barbara. My cat ran away last October. I miss her so much. Is she okay? They're always okay. Understand, if you base reality only on the physical dimension, then you're going to experience life very differently. If you understand that she's still with you, like she still rubs against you, and you feel that. She's telling you that you feel it, and then you think you're missing her. You remember that feeling. Yes. Yes. So you feel their energy. People have to understand this. You can talk to ascended masters, you can talk to Pleiadians, you can talk to other multidimensional beings from different points of time and space and learn and grow and evolve from them, right? You don't have to just be dependent upon this physical three-dimensional world and all the insanity that's going on in it right now as the only source of knowledge, wisdom, and truth for you. You've got endless, limitless truth available to you in the quantum field. Get back to it. Animo's asking, I felt a connection with the Lyrans ever since I became aware of them. Do they have something to share with me? Thank you very much. Again, they're showing me a forest and a cave. They're showing me a forest and a cave. To be alone, important to be alone with the least amount of distraction so that we can commune directly with you in your knowing of it. In your knowing of it. You need to be, yes, I understand. Sometimes we talk really fast. So they're saying, it's really excited because they want you to understand this. Go to a place where there's very little distractions, where you're in a natural environment, and connect to their energy. Call their energy to come and interact with you. But you need to go into a place in nature somewhere where you're like isolated and separate from this three-dimensional city world. Get out to a space where you can connect to their energy with the least amount of electromagnetic interference, right? You want to have as little interference from other people's thoughts, other people's emotions, the physical dimension, electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs, all that stuff. You want to really get to a place where you can access their energy and they can access yours without being distracted by the world around you. Very important. Thanks for that question, Animal. Good question. Undercover billionaire. I wish I were an undercover billionaire. No, I don't. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Somebody sending positive vibes to somebody else. That's wonderful. So much love here. There's so much love here, guys. And even those of you that come here, and I mean, we've had many of you come here and be insulting and derogatory. And I just want to say, I understand your pain. I understand why you believe that. And I will not judge you or hold you at fault because you're suffering. And if you wish to try and get rid of some of your suffering by projecting it here, I'm simply going to send love back to you. You're not going to be able to, your fear will not live here. Love will thrive here. Fear will not thrive here. Yeah, it's wonderful. Someone saying it's true. I feel my mom all the time. It's very important. Victoria's asking, I'm sure, oh, she's talking to somebody else. That's good. It's great you guys support each other the way you do. Really appreciate it. So Kamal, if you're looking at the comment section, Con Knight has made a really great statement. So Kamal is asking about his tinnitus again. Why has it been going on for 5 years? And Con Knight has said, would you consider your clairaudience is opening up more and more? That's clairaudience is clear hearing. That those frequencies in your ear are information trying to come to you, but you're resistant to it, or your personality is resistant to it. Great point to bring up, Con. Thank you so much. Con Knight, by the way, has a wonderful channel. You go check out his channel, Con Knight on YouTube, KHANKNIGHT, and check out his channel. He's doing some really wonderful light work with real beautiful light beings like Rachel Salwani and Doc Singh and Jenny Hart, and many others. Very important to connect to other light workers. To unite the light worker community, the awakening community, the Ascension community has to be consolidated into a unified whole. Kamal is saying, now I felt the sound for a reason. Yes, everything happens for a reason. Everything. Let's see. We go over here. Take 2 more questions on TikTok, guys. Someone's asking, why are me and my sister KK so close? Well, this is interesting. I'm being told to tell you that sometimes you can get fractals of consciousness where you can have one soul in 2 different biologies at the same time to experience different realities. And it's difficult to conceive of from the perspective of being just a body, that, oh, I can't be 2 different people at once, but from the perspective of consciousness, you are. Yes. So your souls are very, very, the soul is like united. I have that relationship with my partner. We have a very powerful, close bond. We are literally like one soul in two different bodies, and we really feel that. And we experience that all the time. We're always thinking what the other's thinking. It's an amazing thing. And I wish that on anybody, that you meet somebody that you recognize you are one. And we all do this. We all go through that. Even in your first love, right? Even when you're 15 years old and you've fallen in love, and you're going, oh, I feel like I've known you forever, because a part of you has known each other forever. You know? Or we're meant to be together. That is true. You're meant to be together. Maybe not for a long time, maybe for a short time, but there's some truth to that your soul knows. Personality doesn't know it, but your soul does. Very exciting. We've got so much wonderful things happening here. And thank you for that. Once again, Con, I really appreciate it. He is a lovely soul, Chris. Okay, swing over to TikTok. My boyfriend passed away January 13, 2021. Does he have a message for me? It's funny, a George Thorogood song started playing in my head. That song, I came in last night about 10:30. That baby of mine wouldn't let me in. Moving on over. Those are the lyrics that he's giving me right now to give to you. That he keeps trying to connect to you. Please, when you find yourself thinking about him, yes, he wants you to move on in joy, to move on in your life in joy. He does not want you to suffer anymore. But he'll help you find the right guy, the right partner. He wants you to get connected. He doesn't want you to be alone. He doesn't want you to be unhappy. Yeah, you'll always have his blessings. You'll always have my blessings. Always have my blessings. So as you'll hear this being said many, many times, when you find yourself thinking about a loved one that's not in the physical dimension anymore, it's because their energies interacting with you. They're trying to communicate with you. They're trying to let you know they're present. And again, if you learn to become sensitive to their energy, you can actually have communication with them, get intuitive guidance and information from loved ones, ascended masters, other multidimensional beings. Right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Do animals speak with you the same as people? I lost my heart horse and don't know how to find her. Again, animals don't speak in language. And humans, when they leave the physical body, don't speak in language. They communicate in terms of energy that can be translated into thoughts. You can tune into the energy of your horse, or the energy of your cat, or the energy of your dog, even if they're not in a physical body, and perceive information from them. And a lot of people experience this in the physical dimension, where you have a horse or a dog or a cat, you're close to it, and you know that they want something, and they know you need something, and you're interacting energetically, not interacting in language. You'll be something about your cat, something people, oh, you must have known I needed you right now. You can sense out how he's feeling, and your animal reacts to you, right? But it doesn't tell you, oh, I know you need some attention here. I'm coming over to give you some attention. It doesn't do that. They just respond according to energy. So yeah, you can literally connect to your animals, whether they're in body or out of body, energetically, right? You can learn to do that. Yes. Yes. Nice to meet you too, guys. I really thank you. To my Canadian audience, thank you so much. I've never seen so many Canadians coming to my live events as I have in these last few weeks. It is really an honor and a privilege to be at this stage in my biological lifetime and have this happen for me in the last 4 years. I became a practicing channel about 4 years ago, where I opened up this floodgate of wisdom and knowledge from these different dimensional realms of information. And it started many years ago without me even knowing when it started. And my guardian angel John spoke to me and talked to me off the bridge. He got me to make a phone call. And your guides and angels will help you. They really will, if you learn how to connect them, if you learn how to get out of your pain long enough to hear, right? Because sometimes you can be in your anger, you can be in your fear, you can be in depression, you can be so caught up in your emotional energy that it cuts off your ability to hear the guidance and assistance that's trying to support you. And yet you can learn to transcend subjectivity to your emotions. You can literally learn to transcend your emotions. You can transform them from one state to another. And again, we teach that in our 102 masterclass on liberation. You can liberate yourself from old emotions. And again, I encourage anybody that's here, check out our masterclass series. We got our new season beginning tomorrow. It's a 101 masterclass on awakening. And you go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Check that out. Register for the course today. It'll begin tomorrow. It's a 3-week course. Someone saying, Victoria's saying, I would love a message from my dad, but not sure I could handle it. But boy, would be nice. Victoria, sit quietly right now. Like, sit quietly. Put your hand right over your physical heart. This is where he wants to connect you. He wants to connect you from the physical heart center, not the heart chakra, the physical heart center. He wants you to feel that he's calling it the tickling in your heart. To go there, feel the tickling. It's that's the only way I can describe it. That he's communicating, to feel the tickling. He loves making you laugh like that. Yes, you were very small when you did that, but you both loved it. That's where he connects you through that energy of laughter and tickling. He wants you to feel that right now. And just allow yourself to feel that. Allow yourself to receive that energy. Right? You know, you can't see air, but you're breathing it all the time, right? You can't see people that aren't in a physical body, but they exist. They exist on different frequencies of consciousness. Your dad really wants you to feel that tickling in the heart of the laughter. He wants the laughter back. Yes. I mean, the happiness is the most important thing to him for you. Your happiness is most important to him, right? Even though the relationship may not have been exactly what you wanted, your happiness remains very important to him. And I hope you can feel that vibration that he's. I can feel it going through me. I hope you can feel it going through you too. Beautiful. Someone's asking, please, is my mom around me? Yes, she is. Sometimes they go off and do other things, but the energy, when you think of humanity, when you think of yourself as a personality, you think you're separate from everybody else. On the level of energy, it's a very different realm. And like, feel it with you. Like, you can learn to feel them with you. Again, we got many students here that go through this and went through the process of missing people, and then they finally realized they could still connect with them energetically. Right? You did not come here to suffer. You came here to learn to create. Oh, you're very welcome, Pure Divine. I'm so glad. You're so welcome. Listen, guys, I love you all very much. We are a spiritual species having a material creative experience. Your body is not who you are. It's an instrument that you have to learn the function of creation, to create manifestations in this dimension. Your body's an animal. Don't attack it. Don't mutilate it. Don't abuse it. Don't mistreat it. It's a divine instrument for you to learn the function of creation. If you're in a male body, learn and appreciate and enjoy being in that. If you're in a female body, learn to love, appreciate, and respect that beautiful instrument that someone gave to you. Someone manifested that body for you so that you requested it, so you could learn something about experiencing creation in a different way. And no, it's not easy. I had a very difficult time learning to be in a male body when I was younger. I had a very difficult time, you know. I had a lot of challenges and difficulties that I got to experience. But I didn't even want to live in this world at one point in time. And then you get past that and you realize you have an awakening, and you realize you're not the body, you're not the mind, you're a soul. And you can learn to remake your mind, and you can transform your life creatively. I want to wish you all much love. And I want to say thank you to everybody for coming up today. Thank you for your gifts and your little birds and your roses and things. And thank you for the super chats on YouTube. If you're new to my channel, remember to like, subscribe, join in, have fun. And join us here tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the meditation portion of our weekly show. And again, I'm going to Archangel Michael with me tomorrow on transmuting negative energies. That's going to be the meditation, or transmuting negative energies with Archangel Michael. I want to say thank you, everybody, for your questions, your love, and your sincerity. Much love, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m.